What's going on, guys? Hey, it's Anthony with the Wrenched Out Experiment. Thank you guys for tuning in. And today we're going to be diving into the home office / studio that we use for all the video and photo production that we do for YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere else. So stay tuned. All right, guys, so this has been a pet project for a really long time. If you guys have been watching the Wrenched Out Experiment, we started with the little office setup in the garage. We were in one of the other rooms in the house, and that got moved around multiple times, and now we're up here, and I've changed it around in here quite a few times because I think it's kind of an endless, ever-evolving setup. But right now, this setup works perfect for video editing, photo editing, and everything that we're doing right now. So let's dive into it real quick. This is my North Face clothing racks thing. I got it, this and the sign above and a lot of other signs from a store closing sale, which was Sports Authority. I ended up putting these little shelves on it. I found these in some boxes, like buried in the back. It came with these, and I found these little oak-looking tops, and it worked, so I got to screw them together. I love this thing because I can put some gear on it. I've got my hats. It's a perfect hat holder. I've got some gear hanging down below as well. Let's keep going, though. I got some shelves thrown up. You're going to see this stuff kind of move around because it's still kind of new, and I'm trying to put up stuff, but not too much. It's one of those compromise deals, or I think you should. I don't want to overclutter it. But on the shelves, you're going to see the 300 guy up top. We've got some Superman and some Batman. My Batman dude's missing. My other Batman guy. Some Tokyo, or not Tokyo, but some pop figures kind of scattered throughout. We've got our WOE, the Space Needle. And then on this side over here, right over there, you've got some Fallout characters. You've got a baby picture of my little dude. That's pretty much what's on the shelves. These were pretty cool, though. These actually don't screw into the wall. They have these strips, and they clamp into the wall. I'll see if I can find them. I don't know if I can, but I'll see if I can find them, and I'll link those down below. But now, let's talk about the main setup here. So, excuse me. The monitors that you see are all 4K. We've got a Toshiba 49-inch TV up top that is hooked to the computer. It's also hooked to DirecTV. I have it set up that way, so if I'm doing video editing and my little dude wants to come in, or one of my other kids wants to come in, I could turn cartoons or TV or whatever on up top. I also have the Xbox One S, which is sitting in that corner right there. That's also hooked to that, so I can play video games, so forth and so on. But it's also the third monitor to these two monitors that are down below. Now, talking about these two monitors, those are LG 27-inch 4K monitors as well. I run all 4K because some of the videos I do is in 4K, and I want to make sure that I can visually see the same resolution that I'm cutting, editing, so forth and so on. So that is the display setup. I am running display ports on the lower two, HDMI to the one up top because it does not have display port. Now, sitting kind of on the desk, I'll start from this side and work my way over. You'll see these KRK Rokit 5s. I've got two of them, one right here and one over in the corner. Those are my studio monitors that I use for editing videos, doing audio. I absolutely love them. World of difference when you're doing any kind of, in my mind, you know, obviously I'm not doing music or composing anything other than podcasts and a lot of video stuff, but it did make a significant difference on the way that I listen. Now, talking about audio real quick, so I've got the two KRK Rokit 5s up top. I did recently hook on a subwoofer that I had sitting around the house that we weren't really using for the home entertainment center in the living room, which is a Klipsch 10-inch sub That's down below the desk there, hooked to the computer as well. Now that covers kind of the audio, the exception of I use the Rode A1 as my main audio source to those speakers. For the most part, it's just super simple because I can leave it here. That's sitting on the desk as well. Right next to it is the Rodecaster. Now, the reason I'm not using the Rodecaster is because I am going to use that for doing podcasting in here, and I'm going to use it for video down in the garage for my other YouTube channel. And I didn't want to have it hardwired up and then have to move stuff back and forth, back and forth. Those are all running on the 1/4 inch. What is it? 1/4 inch. Let me look at this. I think the name's on here. Yeah, Mogami cords. That's what I'm running for all the audio is Mogami, XLR, everything. Right here is the Rodecaster on the PSA Rode. This is my main mic now for in the office. I do have the USB podcaster mic that I use again for my other channel. Super nice because obviously it's on the shock mount. Can move it out of the way when I'm working. Super simple setup. We're gonna do reviews and talk through all of this stuff individually through time. So don't worry if you've got questions or whatever it may be. I do run a Surface on the desk, Microsoft Surface. That is for my work. So I've got a hub in the back. Right next to it is my Astro A40 with the mix amp. I use that for playing the video games up on the television. Keep moving over. That's where the Rode A1 is right here. My direct TV box is below. And then I have my Xbox One S. I will get the One X or whatever the next system is. I got that for a killer deal. It's the only reason I ended up getting it. So I have an Xbox in here and in there. So when I want to take a break, I can just throw the Xbox on, play some Apex or Anthem or whatever I feel like playing. Right below that, so that I've got a wire shelf sitting there. I know it's kind of difficult to see right there. I've got my Astro headset that sits on the shelf. It's right here. And then right behind where the Astro headset is one of those APC battery backups. So it's plugged into all the gear here. In the event of losing power, I can save. Hopefully, if I'm editing, I can save some gear. Also, it's a line conditioner for all of it. I think our power for the most part here in Alaska is pretty clean, but it is a line conditioner. And it also is a surge protector as well. I highly suggest if you're running gear like this, spend the $100, $200, $300 to get one of those for whatever suits your gear and setup. I'll put links to some of this stuff down below if you're interested via our Amazon affiliate account. Below that is our Alienware R6 Aurora, which is our main PC for this setup. Now I run an Alienware laptop when I'm on the road and for my other channel as well because it's not in this office. Our Aurora is completely juiced up. I'm running a CPU cooler, GTX 1080s SLI'd. I've got about 5 SSDs sitting in it. And a lot more. I'm not going to go into that, but that is the main unit. Sitting in front of it, I've got 2 portable hard drives, a 6 terabyte and an 8 terabyte. That is when I'm done creating these videos, I put them on there, and then normally I'll unplug them and put them up. I'll collect some on one drive or a couple of drives, and then essentially I kind of flush them over to there. I don't delete content. A lot of people do that. I don't do it simply because I like to refer back to it. If I'm doing a video on this, and I need some supplemental footage, I've already got it backed up and I don't have to reshoot or go find more. Now that basically kind of covers this area. Let's move over to this corner, slide the camera over. So over here in this semi-dark corner, let me back up a little bit. This area is where I've got my Cricut Explorer Air 2, where I made this shirt. I've made numerous other shirts, and I'm starting to get into that a little bit. I'm also cutting some vinyl, some decals, so forth and so on. I know you can't see that because of just the lighting in here, but that's just a rented out experiment emblem thing that you guys saw on our Facebook header, YouTube header, so forth and so on. I do run a whiteboard. I love this because I can throw some ideas up. Right here, I suggest whether it's an office, your YouTuber, Instagram, or whatever it is you do, videography, photography, or again, just regular office stuff. I love using the whiteboard because I can throw some ideas up on the board and then forget about them, come back and say, oh yeah, that idea. Works really well for me. Everybody's different. So I've got that. I've got my business licensing, got some posters around the room. I've got my wireless printer sitting over there, which is a Canon, I think, 9200 series. I love using that because it is Wi-Fi, so I can print stuff off my phone. From this area, if I'm working in the garage with my other laptop, I can print it off there, and it's pretty cheap. So I'll throw a link to that if I can find that as well. Now, the one thing you can't see, or two things you can't see, is right behind where I'm shooting right here is the closet. In the closet, it's just full of stuff. I'll do a video on that later. Right now, it's just full of just stuff. So I'm not going to show you guys that. However, down here, and I think you can see just barely the top. Let me slide the camera here. So this area right here, this is for the Cricut. This is too. That's a daylighter. So when I'm pulling all this stuff apart to make a shirt or to make vinyl, I can do it easier because the room isn't super lit at night. This is what you have to use to transfer this stuff over, and then this top. So the thing about this area, let me fix the camera here. So the thing about this area though, so I've got my production area for video and audio like everybody needs to have. You don't need to have it set up this way, but you obviously need to have something. This area is really nice for me because if I'm making a shirt or if I'm running gear up here like I do, you know, with the Ronin M, the Ronin S, the setup that I have right here, which is the Sony AX100, I've got some Rode mics, all that stuff. What's cool about it is I'm working over here, and if I'm doing shots in here or different setups, I can put gear up on the tables, whether it's for photos or if it's for me just doing stuff. And it makes it super easy for me because I've got areas to kind of put gear and so forth and so on. That pretty much wraps it up. It's kind of the short, sweet rundown on our office setup. If you guys have questions, drop them below. Again, we're going to link all this stuff, all the gear that we can find on Amazon down there as well. If you're interested in any of it, we would appreciate if you hit the link because we are Amazon affiliates and we're going to grow this stuff out. This is also becoming one of our main shooting areas for just dialogue, the back and forths. And again, we're going to go into detail on a lot of this gear and so much more. Talking about more, we are getting outside and doing a lot more videos about Alaska, about videography, photography. We still have a lot of firearm videos that we've been kind of reluctant to make due to weather and scheduling and everything else. But we are hitting that one video a week minimum. And don't forget, we've got our, we collaborate with a good buddy of mine, Dustin, on the Culture Jack podcast. Check that out. I'll put links to all of this stuff down below. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next video.